For the third time under Danowski, the Duke Blue Devils are the kings of college lacrosse. Championship weekend is back in Philadelphia, and the fans can't wait for a long day of college lacrosse. Kevin Corrigan's Fighting Irish Club played for the national championship a year ago, while Bill Tierney's Pioneers are back in championship weekend for the third straight season. Denver is led by Tewaaraton finalist Wesley Berg, putting up more than 4 points a game, while Notre Dame has one of the best attackmen in the country in Matt Cavanaugh. It's two teams looking to bring the trophy to the West.
A champion is someone who shows up every day and is consistent.
When you get that title, you're the best at what you do.
Who puts the team above himself, who goes above and beyond expectations.
Play your best on that day when you need to.
Obviously, it's the pinnacle of the sport.
As a team, I know that that's kind of like our overall goal. In the beginning of the year, we talked about it a lot. So it's almost just like one step closer to what we need to get done.
Welcome to the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual. Denver and Notre Dame first met in 1966. Cliff the Stork Lennon led the way for the Irish with 4 goals. Safe to say the stakes are a little bit higher today. We will be followed by Johns Hopkins and Maryland. That rivalry has produced 11 national championships. Notre Dame and Denver has defined the Western expansion of the sport. No matter what happens on Memorial Day, we will have the Big Ten against the West. Wait, what? Try to explain that one. Hello and welcome to Philadelphia, and thank you for making championship weekend part of your Memorial Day weekend. I'm Eamon McEnany, happy to be joined by Quint Kesnick. Paul Carcaterra is with us down on the field. But Quint, maybe if you've spent the last 5 years on Pluto, you might be surprised to see Notre Dame against Denver in the Final Four. But this is no shocker.
Now, preseason number 1 and 2 in the country. Notre Dame kind of built like a football team. Big, fast, strong, and deep. Meanwhile, Denver, world-class skill and a Hall of Fame coach. Tail the tape, look how tight this series has been in the last 5 games. 3 of them have gone to extra time.
Time now to take a look at our edge, and Quint, what jumps out to you?
Matt Landis, National Defender of the Year for Notre Dame. Relentless stalking style, love his footwork, uses his stick as a pitchfork. Meanwhile, Connor Cannizzaro, sophomore transfer from Maryland. Is he the missing puzzle piece for the Pioneers?
For more on this key matchup, we go down to the field and bring in Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Denver's Wesley Berg may be a Tewaaraton finalist, but the player who drives opposing coaches nuts is sophomore Connor Cannizzaro. He's got the quickest first step in all of college lacrosse and is an absolute blur on the field. His specialties, breaking defenders down when they try to get into his body and finishing low angle shots while attacking from behind. As a result, defenses are forced to double team number 40, and the bad news for them, he can distribute to 6 or 7 lethal stick handlers who can find the back of the net. Cannizzaro operates this Denver offense at hyperspeed.
Cannizzaro had 4 goals against the Irish in an overtime victory for the Pioneers back in March. Kevin Corrigan has Notre Dame in the Final Four for the 4th time in his career. They have advanced to the championship game twice. Bill Tierney won 6 championships at Princeton, but he has dropped 4 straight in the semifinal round, 1 at Princeton, 3 with the Pioneers. The face-off matchup is huge. Trevor Baptiste, number 9 for Denver, the freshman out of New Jersey, the best in the country, winning 69% of the draws. Notre Dame will throw a bunch of players at him, but we start with Nick Acello.
Good, we're good. Start coming down, okay?
Which Western team will play for the championship on Memorial Day? Baptiste wins it back, and now the Pioneers try to clear. Will Notre Dame jump into the 10-man early? Certainly looks like it with Landis stalking at midfield. Now the net is empty. You see Doss, the goalie, come all the way out on Sean Cannizzaro. Net is empty, and he shoots it wide. So they had the backup.
10-man ride equivalent to a full court press. Off the lost faceoff, they roll up into it. They have not been burned yet this season. Kevin Corrigan, though, rolling the dice there. Well, a great clear from Denver.
Here is Berg against Garrett Eppel. Here's Eric Adamson, senior out of Anaheim, California, being guarded by Jack Neer. Jump shot too high. In the last 5 games, Denver has scored against Notre Dame in its opening possession. Every game, the possessions have lasted nearly 2 minutes long.
Go on!
They double the ball. The goalie for the Irish, Shane Doss, we already see him come out on the ride. He has played very well in the NCAA tournament. Makes a save there on Miller. Our officials today, Kevin O'Leary, Peter Buchanan, and Scott McCall. Doss had 11 saves against the Pioneers in March. Now Sean Cannizzaro being guarded by Eddie Glazner. Here's a look and a goal by Tyler Pace.
Face-off win and a successful clear against the 10-man ride. Denver, they'll grind you. Long possessions. What happens defensively is you lose your bearings, you lose your marks on the field, and typically you get too condensed. Kevin Corrigan worried about his defense getting too sucked in late in the possession. That's what happens here. Pace is outside that defensive cushion and finds net.
Tyler Pace, you look at that, his ability to stretch the defense. He's known as a passer. 24 assists on the season, so Notre Dame not really covering him as an outside threat.
So make it 6 for 6 in goals on the opening possession. This ball will die on the grass. Healy trying to come up with it for Notre Dame. So about a mile away from the ball, the attackman from Denver came out of the box too early before possession. So now Kavanaugh and the Irish with a chance to tie it up. In goal for the Pioneers, the senior out of Fort Collins, Ryan LaPlante. Last time he was on this field, he made 13 saves in the first half against Syracuse. Last time he faced Notre Dame, he only made 2 saves. This is Connor Doyle out of the box. Now Will Corrigan, the coach's son. This is Sergio Perkovic, the first-team All-American midfielder out of Michigan. Kavanaugh off the pick, quickly switched. Now he's going to let it fly off the mark. Doyle off the pick. Now Perkovic. The Colorado native Nick Casello draws the double. Doyle loses it on the double. Casello picks it up, swims, backhanded shot. Not on cage, but Mikey Wynn with the backup for the Irish.
Broken stick for Denver right now, coming off. Notre Dame has numbers.
6 against 5, man. Pass gets picked off. Tremendous job by the defender. Looks like Christian Bergdorf, the All-American, coming up with the interception. They lose it. They cough it up, but LaPlante momentarily comes up with it. Now they got to get it in the box. Running out of time here as they retreat. Doss right now still in the net. Time not the ally of the Pioneers as they chuck it down. Is it in the box? Not yet. Still not possessed in the box. Now it is. Numbers for the Pioneers. And a flag on the push with possession.
I got 8. What do you got, KO? 8. Push. Take a foul, 30 seconds. 8 push. Gotcha. KO. Push. 30-second push. Wait. Number 8. Push. 30 seconds. Wait. Number 8.
Call goes against Pat Healy.
All right, hey, Kevin, we're releasing at 10:54.
Excellent extra man unit for the Pioneers of Denver. That whole scrum starts with a great ride from Notre Dame, and LaPlante is forced to airmail that ball down the field. That's something to keep our eyes on going forward.
60% on the conversion rate for this unit. Connor Cannizzaro with 13, Adamson 34, in crimson with 10. That's Adamson with the ball, but they move it into the crease. They tie him up, but they score anyway. Bob Zine, with the defender on his hands, somehow makes it 2-0 Denver.
This extra man unit for Denver, absolutely lethal. 60% on the season. If you're clipping in around 40, you're doing something right. 60% insane. It's because of the ball movement. Notre Dame stretches. Denver recognizes, so it's really difficult for Notre Dame to play man down while you're playing the perimeter so hard. They look for the inside, a little one-timer, Bob Zine.
That looked accidental from up here. Watch Eddie Glazner, 30 and white. The check is made successfully. And he's tying him up big time, and the ball just kind of ricochets over the shoulder of Shane Doss. Check hard down to the turf. Bob Zine got a little lucky, it looked like.
The assist goes to Zach Miller. So now P.J. Finley, the Philadelphia native, for his second straight faceoff against Baptiste, but he's locked in early at the X. Baptiste, a huge addition to this Denver program. At this point last year, or maybe last spring, thought he was going to Franklin and Marshall. Does that sneak in? Almost. Now here's Collins in the open field with Kashansky leading the way. The Irish are not used to playing from behind this season.
Bill Tierney told me on Denver's side, he was worried about the first 5 minutes. An early start, mountain time, little change here in the East Coast, and they have not played well early in the
Here's Kavanaugh underneath, inside, stopped by LaPlante. Ground ball still loose. Is it still a shot? Does it? What's the call? Quick whistle. And now does Notre Dame go back to that 10-man ride? So LaPlante denies the Tuaraton finalist.
Left side of your screen, Denver switched the matchups up. They got Carson Cannon, the left-hander from Minnesota, covering Kavanaugh, and he smokes him with a big-time face dodge.
Now Miller, picked up by Sexton, the freshman out of Boston. Paul, what are your keys for the Pioneers?
Take a punch, I think, from a physical standpoint. Notre Dame is tough and as athletic as any team in the nation. Then feed inside. Notre Dame does a fantastic job of flushing ball carriers into poor angles. They need to move the ball quickly, make the defense rotate, and jam it inside.
So a completely different start from when they met in March, and a completely different start from Denver's quarterfinal game. Still loose, Landis in there. Cannizzaro can't come up with it. Epple, touch last, but Notre Dame stay Denver ball. Notre Dame, the #1 seed out of the ACC. The Pioneers, the 4 seed out of the Big East. Notre Dame went 4-0 in the ACC in the regular season, but was knocked off by Duke in the conference tournament. Jack Neer on pace. Pace keeps coming. Now Landis picks him up, so there could be a mismatch for Connor Cannizzaro somewhere. If the ball gets stuck in your stick, you get stuck on the bench. That's the very simple message for offensive players at Denver. Adamson looking to get to the middle of the field, draws the slide. Now Berg against Landis. Are they creating offense or are they working the clock? Here we go, shot clock, there's your answer. 30 seconds to shoot for the Pioneers. Berg loses his man, now he's guarded by the short stick. Feeds the crease, cannot get through. Is the shot clock off? Doesn't matter, Glazner with the GB for the Irish. So a good stop there for Kevin Corrigan's club.
Couple keys for Notre Dame, transition offense, that is early offense. They run very well from D to O. And then force Denver into unassisted goals. This is a Pioneer team that wants to beat you with rapid fire passing. Don't create offense by making early double and triple teams.
So now we get a look at the second midfield group. This is Ben Pridemore, along with Marlott, number 5, who has it here. He's going to shoot and scores! The Irish are on the board.
Graduate senior, 5th-year senior, had some big years early, 19 goals in 2012, 20 the following season. Simple step down, catch, triple hop step, and fire. Defense, 2 packed in, caught off guard. Great rhythm.
There's a break in the action. We're going to step aside as well. Marlott scored the game winner in overtime in Denver. Here on championship weekend, he puts the Irish on the board. Who's playing on Memorial Day? The Pioneers or the Irish?
Impressions. Been a lot of Denver. Trevor Baptiste winning the face-off battle, and it's been typical Denver offense. Efficient, move the ball, find the easy goal.
Notre Dame looking for early offense. They just haven't had the ball enough. 2-1 Denver as we go back to Philly and Eamon.
All right, Anish, thanks a lot. Last week, an early, easy trip for the Pioneer fans as the quarterfinals were in Denver, but they've made the trip east. They lead by 1. Let's check in with Paul.
You know, Eamon, the higher level of lacrosse, the more elementary the coaches preach. Kevin Corrigan in that last huddle, livid with his team in regards to their inability to scoop up ground balls. Say, you guys are staying way too high. Get your nose over the ball. We need that ball. When you get low, you come out. You will get fouled if the stick is right next to your head. You'll scoop the ground balls. You'll give us those possessions that we need. Stop staying high on ground balls.
Right now, Denver winning the ground ball battle 5-3. It's Finley against Baptiste at the X again. Finley jump, no call. Baptiste comes out with it on the back of his stick.
He is winning that clamp extremely easy. Kevin Corrigan wanted to make 3-second face-offs. Baptiste has got his stick ball clamped. He's out of there in a second.
So now they have Eppel on Cannizzaro. So now Max Planning out there, 22 in crimson, along with Colin Wolford and Bob Zine. Bob Zine had the goal on the extra man. Here's Bob Zine. Draws this quick switch. Now Wolford with the swim. Pushed off by Kashansky. Shot saved by Doss. Here's one of those ground balls Paul Carcaterra was talking about. 3 jerseys for one team, 1 for the other. Now Eppel joins the party. And the Denver possession will continue.
That's why, Eamon, when Denver gets the ball, Kevin Corrigan knows another lengthy possession for the Pioneers. Those ground balls in the defensive end, critical.
Now Berg. Planning tied up by Collins. Now Landis tries to recover. There's that first step. Wow, that one almost went in off of Notre Dame's shoe. Doss able to recover, but they cannot make the clear. Sexton overruns the ground ball. Now he gets it back. And now Kavanaugh.
Left side of your screen, watch the deflection.
Almost an own goal by Glazner, so now they go back to Marlott, Pridemore, and Trevor Brosco, who has it now. This is Mikey Wynn, the freshman. Now Kavanaugh up top. Doyle to his left. Wynn doesn't take the shot. That pass is off the mark. Now the Irish are about to get hit with a shot clock. This has been a long possession so far. Not much penetration being made. Doyle being guarded by Bergdorf. There's the shot clock. Bergdorf ties up Doyle. Now Kavanaugh finds Doyle, finds the goal with the flag.
Goal's good. Wiped out.
Quint, they told us yesterday how much they enjoy playing together and how they're on the same page.
You talk about chemistry. Kavanaugh steps in from the wing off a nice move, draws the eyes of the defense, and that is fatal for a defender. Halfway is going to get you smoked because Doyle turns the corner and takes that step past the goal line extended and gives himself an angle, and he's a great slim angle shooter.
Doyle's 7th goal in 3 NCAA tournament games. Kevin Corrigan sticks with Finley at the X. They change it up on the wings as we see Henry Williams, 40 in white on the wings. He has been injured throughout most of the season, but now he is out there. And it is still a very quick win for Denver at the X. There's Williams tying up and coming up with the loose ball. Now Neer, always dangerous on the offensive end, but no numbers for the Irish.
50 in white, 28 in white. One of the best 1-2 punches in all of college lacrosse. And the instincts of Matt Kavanaugh on that last goal. When he rolls, he knows the defensive pressure's coming. Spot feeds Doyle.
Now Wynn loses it on the cradle. Here's another one of those big GBs that's going to define the winner of this game, and it's Perkovic. Now, good recovery by the Pioneers. So now Notre Dame will sub as Jack Neer comes off. They leave Will Corrigan alone. Saved by LaPlante. That's a shot. So it'll retain, continue to be Irish ball. Somehow, some way, 17 in white was wide open.
Lack of talk. Christian Bergdorf, 15 in crimson, their leader. Call out numbers, stop the ball.
Now Doyle through the box, trying to get picked up by a short stick, but Denver's ready for it. Now Perkovic. Kavanaugh. Skip pass gets through. Will Corrigan shoots high.
Denver plays a man-to-man defense, but it's got zone principles. Right now they're going with an adjacent man double team, packing it in pretty tight. Perkovic will be tempted to let one rip from 14 or 15 yards.
And field level, looks like 17 in white, Will Corrigan. They're asking him to stretch a defense, daring him to take that outside shot.
Acello takes the outside shot there. Wynn comes up with the ground ball, but bumps into his own player. Acello picks it up. So another chance for the Irish. Here is Perkovic, the big shooter from Michigan. Comes down, hands free, shot blocked. Long possession for these Denver defenders, and Doyle has them hung up. LaPlante makes him pick a side. He goes at the goalie. Now Perkovic again. Runs through the slide. Doyle to the crease off the mark. And the Notre Dame player falls into the crease. So it'll be no push against Denver. That won't go over too well on the Pioneers sidelines. Now Acello keeps coming, gets underneath, backhanded shot too high. He scored on that a week ago. Bill Tierney stalking the officials. Take another look at that call. Here's Perkovic in the middle of the field using that rhino dodge, but can't get his hands free. Now Kavanaugh. Now Notre Dame getting reorganized. So try the invert. Now he forces the issue and runs into a triple team. So good team defense by the Pioneers forces the turnover. And now one of the best riding teams in the country goes to work with Kavanaugh and Doyle.
3-minute multi-shot possession.
But we remain 2-2, and there's the clear.
Offensive coordinator Matt Brown told his team in that last timeout, when we clear the ball, let's settle the ball, get into our base offense. not a rush job like we've done the last couple of possessions. They want to hold the ball here.
Here's Sean Cannizzaro, come on of late. Final minute of the period, tied at 2. Hopkins, Maryland to follow. But Denver certainly can hold for 1 here if the refs allow them. That is their MO. Talk to opposing coaches in the Big East. They say they're deer hunters. They're sitting up in the tree. They're waiting for that perfect shot, and they're not going to shoot until they get one. So the officials will probably put the shot clock on at 30 seconds left. Nope, they're going to let him go. So Wesley Berg and the Pioneers can hold for 1. $15 in the quarter. Under 10. Pace near midfield with 6. They switch it. Now Berg with 1. They're not going to get a shot off. So they were too patient. So after opening up with a 2-goal lead, Wesley Berg and the Pioneers go scoreless over the last 11 minutes and 4 seconds. So Connor Doyle and the Irish want to get back to Memorial Day. Last year they came up short against Duke. Bill Tierney's club wants to play Memorial Day for the first time in school history.
Lacrosse Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual. You and Northwestern Mutual, stronger together. And in part by Quicksilver from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, every day.
Yesterday we had a chance to meet with some of the players and coaches before and after their practices. And Quint, it's always an enjoyable day because they're loose. When you get this far, you've accomplished something. No one's just happy to be here, but getting to the Final Four is a huge deal.
I've always said the strength of NCAA lacrosse are the student athletes. They're big personalities. Their intellect, a guy like Sergio Perkovic's got a 3.6 GPA. A guy like Connor Doyle is going to take a van trip. He's graduated. He's going to take a van trip across the country. So they come in all shapes and sizes, and they're wonderful, wonderful kids.
Men's Division I college lacrosse athletes graduating at an 88% rate. Maybe someone might want to tell the New York Times that the next time they write an article about college lacrosse. Finley jumps, so it's a violation. That's the first of the half on Notre Dame. If you violate 3 times, it'll result in a penalty in a half. Let's check in with Paul Carcaterra.
Was in the offensive huddle for Denver in between quarters. Coach Matt Brown wants his offense generated from up top. He thinks that's where Notre Dame is vulnerable. Coach Bill Tierney all over the refs. Moving picks, he said, when teams playing defense, Notre Dame's offense is moving and picking the ball carrier's man.
Here's one of those matchups the coach was talking about. So Doss makes the save, and then Miller goes into the crease. But Miller, who had 4 in the regular season game, got a step.
That's actually good defense, Eamon, because Miller's a natural left-handed player. He takes a shot with very little angle, and that's not an ideal Denver possession.
They lob it over to Neer. Coverage of the NCAA championships continues with the NCAA Women's Lacrosse Championship Sunday at 8:30 on ESPNU. For more information on the NCAA Women's Lacrosse Championship. Oh, there's a moving pick. So working the officials, just like in college basketball works. Log on to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. It's North Carolina against Maryland.
Left side of your screen, player has to be 100% standing still.
But they turn it over on the ride. Kavanaugh and Doyle. Quick restart here for the Irish, possibly. Now Neer is out there, normally a defensive player, but a huge offensive threat, and unsettled, or if the matchups he likes. So now he'll come off. 3rd turnover for the Pioneers. It was Pace, then Bob Zine for Denver. Notre Dame answered with Marlott and Doyle. Marlott has it now. Now here's Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's been quiet in the NCAA tournament. 1 goal in 2 games. Doyle has him hung up. Draws the slide. Here's Kavanaugh.
I think he looks like his old self. You know, he did finish up the season with 6 points against Army up at Michie Stadium. maybe whispers that he's hiding an injury.
Another pickoff by the Denver defense. That's Mike Reese with the turnover. Senior out of Carlsbad, California. And now the Pioneers get it back, looking to regain the lead with 12:40 left in the half.
Denver's not a transition team. They want to grind you in the 6-on-6, the half field set. They rate number 63 in terms of pace. It's out of 69 teams nationally.
They've been scoreless for 14 minutes. Team coming in averaging 14 goals a game. But they expected low numbers against this Irish squad. The regular season was 11-10 in overtime. Now Bob Zine up top. Wolford down the alley. As you heard Paul say, they want to exploit the matchups against the short sticks, but Collins doesn't give Wolford a step there. Now McCullough playing for the injured Collins. Draws a slide. Wolford had to go back and get it, or else he would have taken the shot. Now again, a long possession. You see the officials talk it over, now the shot clock on. Another quick slide. Sexton can't recover. Shot saved. Doss. Rebound. Still loose. And Doss has it. He has a man in the middle of the field, but he goes to the short stick. Collins, who finds Sexton, who can't hold on to it. So they give it right back to Bob Zine and the Pioneers. Sexton stalking the play, though. Kavanaugh can't jar it loose. So now do they force it unsettled?
Eamon and Q, you see 46 in white. Sexton, he is gasping for air, and the defensive midfield right now is not deep. Pat Healy, number 8 in white, looks like his return is questionable. Trainer's working on his knee, so the defensive midfielders for Notre Dame are going to be asked to play a ton of lacrosse.
And does Kevin Corrigan notice that and take a timeout to get some fresh legs out there? And Bill Tierney is livid because that was an inadvertent whistle that Notre Dame was able to take advantage of. He has every right to be angry, I think. They blew the whistle to push the Pioneers players back, and Notre Dame took the timeout. So the Irish get a break, literally and maybe figuratively, or maybe both literally. We'll figure it out when we get back.
And Ryan Flanagan, Trevor Baptiste coming as advertised, but face-off wins haven't translated into scoring opportunities for Denver.
No, they're very patient. They're taking almost too much time. It's negating that face-off advantage.
At the half, Sports Science with a closer look at face-offs, and the Gray Lady wants a word with Eamon.
All right, Anish, thanks a lot. Trevor Baptiste, coached by Greg Gorenley and the great face-off man for the New York Lizards. We'll take a look at that at halftime. But for more on what just happened, let's bring in Paul.
Yeah, a little clarification, Eamon. Kevin O'Leary, the head official, he actually called both benches, blew a whistle, called both benches to back up because both coaches were on the field. He thought it was in the best interest of the game to get them both off the field. That caused a dead ball. And then Coach Corrigan from Notre Dame decided to call a timeout, which is totally legit off of a dead ball.
Excellent explanation. Curious why you have to blow a whistle to tell the coaches to move back. If you just tell them to move back and keep the play going is probably what Bill Tierney's argument was. But nevertheless, his team gets the ball out of the timeout. Now here's Pace being guarded by Neer. They draw the switch from Kashansky. Bullet pass does not get through, touched by Williams. So there you see 40 in white has not played most of the season, but now will have to play an extended role if Healy cannot return. We approach 10 minutes left. We have not heard the name Connor Cannizzaro. Quinn, has Landis taken him out, or is it just a product of the system as this drought now has reached the 16-minute mark?
Product of their system. Ball's been up top about 80% of the time for the Pioneers.
Here's Adamson, who the coaches for Notre Dame hope to pull as much as possible. Now they go up top, so they have a pull on Miller with Eppel.
Denver's going to have to win a matchup on the perimeter somewhere.
Miller has time and room, but he doesn't pull the trigger.
Somebody's got to run by their man and get the defense on the carousel.
Well, is it Berg against the short stick near? Williams quick to slide. Now here's Connor Cannizzaro against Landis. Lightning fast to no avail there. Now his brother Sean tied up by Glazner momentarily, trying to force the hold call. Now it's shot clock. So the refs have set the tone here in the first half. 30-second shot clock. They get away from the double and they score. Zach Miller.
Shot clock on, no sweat. Zach Miller has put together one of the best passing midfield years in recent memory. This time he creates and splits this double. This is an insane move. He takes that stick just a smidgen lower than normal. Right here you'll see he comes out and ducks it underneath Glazner. That is pretty.
He also wards off with his free hand, hooking the defender much like you see in the NBA on a roll move. But Miller, a very talented sophomore, played for the Iroquois Nationals last summer in the World Championships. He was the top freshman nationally a year ago.
38 goals and 19 assists in his rookie campaign. Acello back at the X, and he actually wins it. Kicks it, though, forward to a Denver player. Now Acello loses it on the cradle. So here, big hit on Baptiste. No release, he had it in the stick.
I have possession over here.
So there's an inadvertent whistle. One referee said possession.
Ball. Inadvertent whistle, Notre Dame's ball. Notre Dame's ball. The ball was released. The official released them.
So
the official then blew it dead for play. Red came out, but the ball was released. Notre Dame ball.
So the attackman and the defenders can't come out of the restraining area until the pickup. They said Acello had possession there, so players come out. One official thought there was no possession. So again, another whistle benefits the Irish because Acello had possession for a millisecond. Now Perkovic loses it on the trail check from Reese.
Let's go. Up center.
Under 8.5 to play in the first half. Here's Doyle now.
X.
Acello from the wing, gets to the middle of the field. Lefty shot and a goal! The Wheat Ridge, Colorado native ties it up at 3.
The maturation of Nick Acello was a battering ram for a couple years. Now he's got a finesse game to him on the offensive end, showing you versatility with the left hand. The scout on this kid, righty bulldodger. Watch this move right here. Gets the defense to commit. They give him the entire middle of the field with the left hand. He capitalizes.
Defensively now, he's being shaded. He's almost being welcomed. Freezer right here. You got a situation, one or two defenders are going to be the help man. Problem is, you have this defender on the left with his head facing the wrong direction. No communication, the alley opens up, and Acello puts that stick in his weak hand, his left hand, but buries the rock. Communication, head on a swivel, so important defensively.
The senior has a goal in every game but 2 this year. He will play for the hometown Denver Outlaws in Major League Lacrosse this summer. Another face-off win by Baptiste. So he and Finley stay out there for now. Baptiste has won 6 of the 8 face-offs. So now he goes to set a pick. Basically 5 against 5 right now as the 2 face-off men come off. There's Sean Cannizzaro. This is the second group again with Max Planning out there and Wolford.
Wolford's had the hot hand. 5 goals in the last 4 games while shooting 50%.
Wow. Berg looking to line up Eppel. Gets a pick, finds the crease. Good team defense by Landis, off ball. Hold call against Landis on the slide. Under 7 to play. Now Connor Cannizzaro looking to create against the best defender in the country, gets a step and scores. There's your edge on display.
Lightning, quick feet, and a change of direction. You need some ankle tape if you're going to cover this guy. Boom, right there. The change of direction and the burst. The finalizer move, patented by Ryan Powell of Syracuse.
Time now for a BioBlast. We take a look at Connor Cannizzaro, and you can't help but think when you see the Maryland coaches on hand scouting what could have been if he stayed with the Terps.
Casanova in New York, a freshman at Maryland last year, ACC Freshman of the Year, put up 26 goals. Said it was a rough transition coming to Denver and getting used to their offense. It was a fall practice. The ball was in his stick for 3 seconds. Coach Tierney said, "Connor, you got to get rid of the ball." He said, "Coach, I just got it." He said, "You had it for 3 seconds."
That BioBlast brought to you by Sector Spider ETFs.
Red ball, red
Now
ball.
Cello jumps, so that's the second violation against Notre Dame with almost 7 minutes left to play. If they violate again, it's a penalty for 30 seconds in the half.
And that sets up a very hesitant face-off man the rest of the way. They'll be in damage mode control, perhaps even facing off a pole. A long pole, that is.
Most likely that would be Sexton.
43 in white, Matt Landis guarding Cannizzaro right there. This is a different kind of matchup than he had last week. Lyle Thompson likes to back in. Connor Cannizzaro plays like Jordan Wolfe, loves space, and behind the cage is frightening with the change of direction and the low angle shooting.
Save Doss on the shot by Berg. Glazner catches the pop-up and gets it to Neer. Pioneers are back, but that doesn't matter against Neer. He can go to the hoop. Now will he go on the invert? No, instead he makes the feed, and Doyle can't hang on to it. So they get the stop, but the Pioneers get it right back and look to clear quickly.
Those turnovers are killers. Dealing with a very patient Denver offense now, and you're asking your D to break down and hustle and scrap, and just too much time later on in this game will pay off for Denver.
And then tack on Baptiste dominating at the X. Apple turns back Berg. Now they draw the switch with Glazner. Collins goes out on Bobsey. Bobsey with the re-dodge. Another dodge. Notre Dame able to recover. Low shot, low to high, too high. So now Notre Dame will get reorganized on defense. The winner of this game gets the winner of our next game. Johns Hopkins against Maryland. That's such a rivalry they can't even figure out how many times they've played. One school says one thing, the other says the other. One coach told us there is an animosity there that no one likes to talk about. Well, here's the matchup again. Cannizzaro against Landis. Cannizzaro with a little bit more pep in his step, but he throws it away. So the Pioneers give it right back to the Irish. An unforced error is the 4th turnover of the half for the Big East champs. Notre Dame's offense been taken out of its game so far this quarter by the Denver defense. 1 shot, 4 turnovers. And it's interesting, we both agree that Kavanaugh looks different than he had against Towson and Albany. But other than that one move, he hasn't forced the issue.
Notre Dame's offense have to give 50 and White more space.
Oh, the Rhino dodge off the mark. Cello saying, "You want to get in my way?"
6'1", 200-pound senior from Colorado. An excellent high school football player, all-state from Wheat Ridge High School.
Quarterback. Doyle gets it back on the cradle, being guarded by Bergdorf. Now Kavanaugh from the wing. Gets the pick. Now he's picked up by a short stick. Advantage would seem to be Notre Dame. Very quick to double. So they recover. There's a shot off the pipe. Corrigan can't get it back.
Great body positioning by LaPlante. He's a lefty goalie, so He needs to get wide in his base, as you know, Q. Corrigan shoots to the opposite side, but not a lot of angle from this vantage point.
Left side of your screen, LaPlante, the senior. I like that wide stance. He makes himself big a little bit. He looked like he may have gotten a piece of that prior to the pipe. He's had a very good senior season.
Winningest goalie in school history, 40-9. 29 saves coming in the 2 NCAA tournament games.
Last year he was splitting time with Jamie Faust. Said he had to adjust his diet and his training. Seen more shots in practice, and credited Trevor Tierney. Said he's been a brother to him. He's been working with Trevor Tierney before he came to Denver.
Planning gives it right to Doss on the long shot. Dangerous pass into the middle of the field, tied up. And the net's wide open if they want to go. Still. Now Cannizzaro against Glazner. So again, there's a sloppy pass on the clear. Gives it right back to the Pioneers, who now look to go up by 2.
Cannizzaro does not have Landis on him right now. If he could keep this matchup with Glazner, I don't know if 30 in white can keep up with the feet of 40 in red.
Now Landis goes out on his brother. Here, Connor not looking to force the issue there. Now they have a chance later if they want to switch the matchup. But Bobsey. Now Glazner. Landis looking to double, but Glazner ties him up there. And Denver will take a timeout with 1:49 to play in the half. At 4-6, no one really thought Johns Hopkins looked like a Final Four team at the end of the Big Ten tournament. Everyone thought Maryland might be in quicksand, but here they are, championship weekend one more time. Johns Hopkins upsetting Syracuse. Maryland taking care of North Carolina. The longtime rivals will meet after this one. And then there it is, you see the championship game. History no matter what, either a team from the West or a team from the Big Ten in its inaugural season.
Terp's all about defense. #1 rated unit in the country. Hopkins has won 7 straight.
The NCAA Lacrosse Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual continues on ESPN2 and watch ESPN.
We're not answering each other. Ask it back and forth, okay? Everyone else got it. Hey, remember, hey, 20, let's just sit down the alley, all right? Sit down the alley. 149 left. Let's go, boys. One, two, three, go! Hey, if we don't get anything,
There's a look at Miller and Pace. Let's check in with Paul.
You know, when you're getting dominated on the faceoffs like Notre Dame, you have to make up for it in different areas, the ground balls and the clearing. And one thing Kevin Corrigan not thrilled about is his team's inability to get it from defense to offense. So you have a guy like Trevor Baptiste, you know, when Denver gets the ball, they are going to be in these long possessions. Notre Dame has to do the little things as good as they possibly can with Baptiste's dominance.
All right, let's flip the script to what's going to happen now coming out of this huddle with Denver.
Well, Denver's going to hold here for as long as they can, but I think the officials will hit them with a potential shot clock at around the, I don't know, 110 mark. Wouldn't be surprised if they tried to create some offense here, if they don't like their look, to sail it over the crossbar to keep the shot clock at bay. But, you know, one thing that stands out about the way Matt Brown operates, Denver likes to start with really wide splits, and it's almost like an accordion. It's in and then out and in and then out. They'll condense the formation and then pull it wide. A lot of misdirection. So while they may start on one side, the ultimate goal is 3 passes down the road on the weak side of the field.
Georgetown head coach Kevin Warren telling me this week they do a tremendous job of shrinking the field, so they end up after a long possession with a slam dunk, to your point about being the accordion.
They're setting up Zach Miller, 33, in crimson with a long dodge up here down this alley. Right now they're live.
This is how the game winner in overtime started in March. But Sexton ready to slide. Now Bird carrying against Eppel. Adamson gets a step on near. Splits a double. There's a shot wide with 1:05 left.
And that keeps the shot clock at bay. Nice little weave. Lefty, righty, lefty. put a lot of pressure both on those one-on-one matchups, and you're talking communication. Do you switch? Do you stay? Do you double?
At the end of the first quarter, they did not get a shot off. I would be shocked if that happens again here. 50 to play.
Scott! Ball sets! Timeout! Red!
So Denver will hold for one. They got it down now to 36 seconds left. They've manipulated the clock. They took the shot.
Masterful.
Oh, that's what he is. He and Matt Brown. Matt Brown is an offensive genius, a great player in his own right at Denver for Jamie Monroe, and a tremendous assistant coach. Now Kevin Corrigan and his longtime defensive consigliere, Jerry Byrne, have to come up with a plan for one more stop.
First things first, be ready for some action. He's got the corner on his arm. Randy's going to start with Randy's going to.
So I mentioned Miller's game winner in overtime. We go back to March. You got to love the clips from earlier in the season, Quint, when you see the field surrounded by snow, but a great atmosphere when they met. March 7th in Denver, Matt Cavanaugh had 4-2 as the Irish took an early 5-1 lead, but the Denver fourth quarter flipped the story. A key penalty, and then Baptiste.
They scored the last 4 goals of the game, did the Pioneers. Owned face-offs that day. They won 16 out of 23. Denver only made 2 stops, and there's Zach Miller. He had 6 points. The series has become one of the best in the land. They played each other going way back when.
1966, the first meeting. They were great rivals in the Great Western Lacrosse League.
Both teams sniffing around a national title. So close on numerous occasions. Maybe this will be the year.
2 completely different athletic programs looking to break through in college lacrosse. Clark?
Well, Eamon, at the end of the first quarter, you saw Denver hold for a last possession and not even get a shot off. That won't be the case this time. Coach Bill Tierney and Matt Brown emphasize the fact that they have to contest Dawson this last possession. They're going to go attack around 20 seconds. Right now, there's 36 on the clock. Look for some scissor offense, and 33 in red will be the guy who will be carrying the ball, looking to separate and create offense next time he touches the ball.
Which appears to be right now against Kashansky, so they'll flip it around, swing it around to about 20, like Paul said, and probably go to work then. So now they can indeed hold for one. Here's 15. Now Pace against Neer. Draws the slide, picked up by Glazner with 9. And they will not get a shot off, most likely. That ball will die in the stick of Kashansky. And he lets LaPlante add to his save total. So at the end of both quarters, Bill Tierney's offense could not come up with a look. But they do go to the locker room with a 1-goal lead. Let's send it down to Paul with Coach Corrigan.
Coach, you like to play fast. They're holding on the ball, the long possessions. How do you change the tempo in the second half of this game?
You know, we got to win more ground balls, and we got to turn our clears to possessions. I mean, right now we're losing in the ground ball game. We're losing in the face-off game primarily, and you know, so we have to stop them to get the ball back. We're going to need to you know, be sure that every time we stop them, we turn that into a possession at the other end, and then, you know, if we can put a little heat on them offensively, then we can turn the tempo up a little bit that way.
This offense in Denver known to put up some numbers in the half-field set. Why has your defense been so effective on the half field?
You know, I think we match up with them okay. You know, I mean, we got to keep doing it, and you know, I think they're being so deliberate as part of it. You know, it's not as hard to guard when they're that deliberate.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
To Coach Corrigan's point, his Irish club turned it over 4 times in the second quarter. The rivalry has defined the Western expansion of the sport, but all these 2 teams care about right now is playing for a championship on Monday. 7 goals, 7 different players. Let's now join Anish Shroff for the NCAA Studio Update. Welcome back to the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual. Denver, 1/2 of lacrosse away from taking that one more step to a championship. They lead the Fighting Irish by 1, 4-3. We are moments away from the start of the third quarter. Welcome back to Philadelphia. Eamon McEnany along with Quint Kesnick. Paul Carcaterra is down on the field. And Quint, we heard from Kevin Corrigan before he went to the locker room. Seemed pretty simple. If we hold on to the ball, we'll have a chance.
Turnover city. And you combine that with the fact that they're not winning faceoffs. You think about the number of possessions that Notre Dame's had, the lack of time of possession, and this game is being played at Denver's pace.
Time now to take a look at the highlights, and we have still yet to hear from Notre Dame's Nones.
Denver in that second quarter had 2 unassisted goals, and I think that goes a long way towards the Pioneers. Look at Miller spinning and dodging through a Notre Dame defense that didn't take the body. He got away with a little ward. This is a gem right here. Hard move to your left, boom, put on the brakes, come back to your right, Connor Cannizzaro. That is the move of the game against a very talented defender in Matt Landis. But the story of the game, 7 Notre Dame turnovers, chucking the ball around the lot, unforced errors, poor stick work, and against a team like Denver, they're going to make you pay for it. You're losing face-offs, and then to compound and make it worse, you're throwing the ball.
Let's send it down to Paul for Planning for Success, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
Well, you look at Denver. Have they been able to take a punch? Indeed. Notre Dame's athletes have been phenomenal all season long. They are not making plays in the middle of the field and feed the inside. Credit the Notre Dame defense. 1 goal by Denver's attack. That's Connor Cannizzaro with that ankle-breaking move. I think Notre Dame's defense has been on fire.
This Notre Dame team, and I think the key here is the transition. They have had no unsettled opportunities, not a single 4-on-3, 5-on-4, or 6-on-5 transitional break. Denver's done a wonderful job at getting back, and then Notre Dame has been sloppy with the ball in the middle portion of the field.
It's a cello against Baptiste. Baptiste wins it back. Go right to Doyle. Still loose. Doyle comes up with it for now for the Irish. Let's go back down to Paul.
Coach Bill Tierney loves his defense, as we see Matt Cavanaugh operating right now for Notre Dame. He thinks they played phenomenal and doing a really good job getting ground balls in the defensive end. He also thinks they've been able to stymie the Notre Dame transition game because of the way they are shooting the ball, not giving Doss any easy looks to start that transition and give it to guys like Jack Neer, 22 and white.
They've also done a nice job of getting in Doss's face after he makes the save. Basically taking away that long outlet, getting their hands up so he can't see down the field.
So here's Acello being guarded by the short stick. Down the alley, gets it to Cavanaugh, to the crease, wins, save LaPlante. Doyle there for the backup.
Nice looking pattern. Little triangle, Acello, Cavanaugh, win inside.
Now Cavanaugh has not forced his one-on-one matchup. Gets it to Will Corrigan here. Hampton all over him at the middle of the field. Shoots, save LaPlante. Still loose on the rebound, still loose. Wynn can't come up with it, now he does. So the Notre Dame possession continues.
Who's go?
Now Acello right in the middle of the field against the short stick. And let him get it back to his right. Corrigan given time and room. And we've not heard from Sergio Perkovic.
Corrigan had 2 against Towson, his best game of the season. Senior from South Bend, an excellent high school tennis player.
He had a goal a week ago against Albany as well. Now Doyle. He gets stood up. Another ground ball, they can't come over. Now Wynn loses his man. 3 ground balls here on this possession. Here's Acello, still can't cash in. LaPlante locked in to start the third. Now can Denver clear it? Cavanaugh all over the ball on the line, loses it. The possession continues. Corrigan, no, he buries it. The coach's son continues his big NCAA tournament, but that was all about the ride.
Credit Will Corrigan, gentlemen. He's been pressing. He knows his matchup is critical in this game with so much attention on 20 and white Acello, 16 and white Perkovic. He has to make plays. It's his 3rd shot of this possession. Sniffs just a little bit of an angle. Gets it past LaPlante, who's been on fire.
Notre Dame earned 4 50-50 ground balls, including the opening faceoff of the 3rd quarter. And that's where that goal comes down to Ryan LaPlante standing on his head, making save after save, but the guys in the white jerseys just working harder on the loose balls.
Corrigan now with 6 goals in his last 5 games. They go to Finley now against Baptiste. And he wins it back. Much easier ground ball here for Pace and the Pioneers, as Sexton tries to hunt him down. So again, we are tied at 4. Have we mentioned how competitive this rivalry has become? Will we have bonus lacrosse again? As Connor Doyle told us yesterday, I played him 4 times. 3 of them have gone into overtime. Pace looking to get a step on Kashansky. Instead gets it to Sean Canizero. Adamson draws the pole with Sexton. Pace with the change of direction, feeds the crease. Tied up. They'll call that a shot.
Denver plays with tighter pockets in their sticks than most teams. They're passing sticks. And they don't. Coach Tierney doesn't allow his players to use a big whip or bag. Zip, zip, zip.
Talked to an opposing coach in the Big East, and he says you look at this top 6 group, potentially it could be 6 All-Americans. Pace does not force the issue on Kashansky and does not jam it to the crease. Now Wesley Berg, he's been quiet. Eppel on him. The 2 Tewaaraton finalists have not dominated the action here today. Now they get Canizero. Shot clock on. Canizero with the double. Changes direction on Landis. Shoots, does not score. That did not hit the cage, so the shot clock should continue. $19 to shoot. That pass gets picked off, and a takedown. Wow. Shot clock still in play, though, as Sexton gets it in the middle at midfield, shovels it back to Kavanaugh. So the Irish defense comes up with the stop. Do they attack an early offense now? Kavanaugh has space.
Yeah, you know he wants to.
Yeah.
You know he wants to, but in the back of his head, he's saying,
Here against Miller.
We just played defense for 2 minutes, and I can't take a chance.
It's an excellent point. That's what the coach said to Paul at halftime. They jam it to the crease. Another ground ball comes up Irish. Neer remains out there, but now he'll come off after a long run. Marlott, Roscoe, and Pridemore now for the Irish, looking to regain the lead. They take that back. They have Neverland. Denver scored the first 2. Notre Dame answered with 2, and they've traded goals since. Pridemore. Now the Irish get hit with a shot clock. There's a shot off the mark. Was that shot with the intention to score from Kavanaugh?
Kavanaugh loves to separate from the defense. When he passes to a midfielder gives it back and then sets that down screen pick. He just needs that extra step to crash.
Now Doyle back to Wynn, who can't handle the pass. Wynn finds the crease. Shot off the mark from Brosco. A good look there. Now Pridemore loses it on the check, but they don't go after him. The second group giving Denver a taste of its own medicine here with the lone possession and shots. Tough angle shot, save LaPlante. Who's going to come up with this GB? Still loose. Still loose. Pridemore has a beat on it. It stays Notre Dame. Now Kavanaugh. Skip pass gets through. Brosco tries again. Too high, bouncer off the grass. And there the message got through at the half, obviously. Here's Doyle. You see Notre Dame dominating the ground ball so far here in the second half. Will it lead to a tired defense and a goal for Kavanaugh, Doyle, and crew?
It's just about attitude and toughness.
Marlock being guarded by the shorty. Saw the slide coming. Pridemore had a look, but he thought about it before. Another huge ground ball, but LaPlante comes up with it. Now do we get transition from the Pioneers? 4 on 3. Berg back to the trailer. They can't make the catch. But one more trailer, the pole.
Q, as you know, when you give it back to a defensive midfielder, you run that risk. That was an early fast break call. Berg got the ball, kicked it right back to the short stick defensive midfielder. Not accustomed to handling the ball inside in traffic like that.
Yeah, when Wesley Berg sets up as a point man, and you know it's not an offensive midi coming down the field, you're going to be very slow to respect that ball carrier. It was well defended by Garrett Epple, 52 in white.
Now Bob Zine being guarded by the short stick Collins. Berg takes the shot low and sneaks it past Doss. Denver back on top.
British Columbia senior, 181 career goals. He pops to space, one cradle, and it's gone. I mean, an eye blink. This ball is in and out of the stick. His feet are set before he catches it. Sidewinder.
The all-time point leader in Denver history gives the Pioneers a 1-goal lead. Intensity, emotion, competitiveness, all on display in Philadelphia this afternoon. Who's playing on Memorial Day?
The NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual. You and Northwestern Mutual, stronger together. And in part by the 306 horsepower Lexus GS. Experience it, and there is no going back.
Stall warning against the Irish. They have to keep it in the box. The pass free. Rogers fires! He scores! Mr. Sudden Victory does it again!
Jim Marlock winds up, fakes the shot, steps back in. Shot! Score! Notre Dame has done it! The Irish come back and win!
3 minutes and 23 seconds to go here in overtime. Here comes Miller. Miller with a great spin. He steps it, fires and scores! And the Pioneers explode off of the sideline with an 11-10 overtime win.
And the most significant meeting between these two rivals from the frontier of lacrosse following script. Denver with a 1-goal lead as we continue to trade goals here in the third quarter.
Baptiste and Crimson on the right. Watch how low he has been able to stay here and win this clamp right off the whistle. It's been easy.
And the adjustment made by Notre Dame is to go to 2 poles on the wings as Epple gets right in there, scooches it out and comes up with it, and we'll go back to Doss. So Epple, one of their best ground ball guys, came in with 49 ground balls, now has at least 50. Let's check in with Paul.
Eamon Wesley Berg, who scored that last goal for Denver, very vocal in the Denver offensive huddle with assistant coach Matt Brown, said, guys, when the initial Dodger goes, they are moving quickly, but they recover so quickly, them being Notre Dame. He said, you have to get me the ball right out of the Dodge. You make that move, pass it to me right away.
LaPlante with 5 saves already in the third quarter, and there's a clean takeaway by Reese. So that more like the second quarter, a short possession for Notre Dame, but now Denver needs to get organized for this clear.
See how they're working back. Their middies drop all the way down to the defensive, deep into the defensive zone to try to leg the ball out.
Pace gets by Acello, but not in the box yet. Corrigan all over him, now he's in the box. Make that Walt Rooney on the clear, so Walt Rooney stays out there.
Carlsbad, California. Mike Reese, the righty, senior.
Rooney almost turns it over, but last touch by Glazner, so now Denver will play the substitution game.
You can't leave it hanging, Eamon.
Now Sean Cannizzaro quickly. So they get all 6 players on at 5:55 with a 1-goal lead. Here's an All-American against All-American. Cannizzaro has 1. quick slide from Collins, thwarts that dodge. Now Bobsey loses his footing on Neer. Berg off the pick. There's a shot. Berg backhanded, doesn't go. But Denver, see the way he twists that stick around to improve his angle. Now Wolford. Back out to Planner. Off the pick, shot off the mark. So Cannizzaro got a step. Now Wolford. Both teams have gone cold in the shooting department, 2 for the last 23 combined. Change of direction does not lead to a shot. Now Bobsey working against the pole.
These long possessions, defensively you have to maintain your communication, your bearings. Don't get too sloughed in. Get out and play the ball, get in the ball carrier's hands. Take away his vision.
Shot clock on, shot blocked. And Doss picks it up.
Bad shot. But Berg right here does a nice job of getting in Doss's face, and the lefty has no available deep outlet.
Quint, great point, and you watch the rest of the midfielders for Denver. They get really deep to stop any type of transition for Notre Dame.
Now Perkovic, who had 4 a week ago against Albany. Quiet here against Denver. It's Corrigan, Acello, and Perkovic. Here's Acello. They pull him quickly, he goes back to Corrigan. Now Perkovic. Does he get his hands free? Trail check, well done. Shot though, so Notre Dame ball. Ref pointed the wrong way, quickly changed his mind and corrected himself. I don't even know if 16 and White's taking a shot today. Corrigan gets a step. Loses it off the check. And another clean pickup by the Pioneers. But now they retreat. Thomas.
Denver clears at 85% this season. Nothing coming easy today.
Still not in the box just yet. Pace trying to get a step on Kushansky, and he does. But another turnover by the Irish. 9 turnovers for Notre Dame. And Mike Reese having a lot to do with it as he sets a pick right there. Now Reese and Corrigan will come off. So now you have Connor McCullough, who has not seen a lot of time this year, guarding Adamson, who had 6 against Notre Dame a year ago in Southern California. And here is that matchup.
Watch the scissor offense right now. Matt Brown calling out that scissor offense. Cutters going in both directions.
Quick to double, and they come up with the turnover. So Glazner on the double. Now does he find an outlet? Over to Kushansky. Kushansky has Kavanaugh, and he gets it to him. So Notre Dame now with a chance to tie it. He thought about forcing the crease to Marlowe. Kavanaugh with an assist. Perkovic with 1 shot. And they're going to send the second group out here for this possession with Marlowe.
That's not going to get it done.
No. That's 2 first-team All-Americans combining for 1 assist. Now Cole Riccardi, it looks like, out there, 15. Final minute of the third. A much slower third, although started out with some quick tempo. Now Doyle gets a pick from Brosco. Bill Tierney was happy with his defense in the first half, probably even happier here in this third quarter so far. Brosco pushed off his line. Make it win. Riccardi doesn't get it back to Kavanaugh. Now he does. Does Kavanaugh take it himself with 18? Back to Marlott. Time. No, he doesn't pull the trigger. One more. Here's a low shot. Save LaPlante. He is locked in the third. 7 seconds for Reese. He's going to keep it. Right down Broad Street. He scores! An exclamation point to a huge third quarter for Mike Reese.
When a defensive midfielder comes down and can stick a goal like this on this stage, it gives your offense, it gives your team such a boost, an emotional boost, and Reese has been jarring all afternoon with his teammates. Every time he comes off the field, he's been an inspiration, an emotional leader. The biggest goal of his career, hands down.
He has forced 2 turnovers in this third quarter. There's the goalie with the big save and the react. Great job by Reese, though. Cat and mouse game with the point man, Matt Landis, who is hesitant to leave Connor Cannizzaro.
Riccardi could not catch up. So Will Corrigan tied it at 4 early in the third quarter, but then Ryan LaPlante made 6 saves in the third, and he's probably looking for a hockey assist on that last goal. The Pioneers, 15 minutes away from taking the biggest stage in college lacrosse. You say Denver's slow, when given transition, they've taken advantage of it. Berg with the bouncer, and then Reese going coast to coast. Notre Dame down by 2. Welcome back to Philadelphia in the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual. Berg from the point, Reese in transition, and the Pioneer fans are sensing it. Sensing a chance for history on Memorial Day. Will they represent the West against 2 of the Blue Bloods, Johns Hopkins and Maryland? The Blue Jays and the Terps have been playing since 1924 and have combined for 11 national championships. Dave Petramala getting an early scout for whoever his opponent might be. And, of course, his good friend Bill Belichick, who played lacrosse growing up in Annapolis, at Andover, and at Wesleyan, is a huge fan of college lacrosse. Once when he was out in Notre Dame to do a coaching clinic with Brian Kelly, he snuck over to the Loftus Center to watch practice with Kevin Corrigan. So he can give you as good a scouting report on these 4 teams as anyone. And right now, he'll tell you Notre Dame needs to find out a way to neutralize Baptiste.
Play it out, play it out.
So now it squirts out. Sexton can't come up with it. Still loose. Doyle trying to rake it back. And it's the pole for Notre Dame. So now, how do you get Kavanaugh? How do you get Perkovic unleashed? Let's check in with Paul.
See Kavanaugh going to the rack right now. It's what he does away from the ball that Kevin Corrigan's concerned with, and looking ahead of future possessions for Notre Dame in the fourth quarter. When Kavanaugh doesn't have the ball, Coach Corrigan not happy with him standing still. Offense dies because of his inability to get involved in the inside. He said you'll get the ball back, but you need to be part of the 6-man offense in the meantime.
Yeah, in this formation right now, you got Kavanaugh and Doyle both behind the goal when that play starts. You're really only playing with 4 in front.
Now Perkovic. Quick slide coming from the middle. Notre Dame scoreless the last 12 minutes and 48 seconds of the quarter. Now Perkovic with room, too high. Second shot of the ball game. Credit Carson Cannon for the job he's done so far on Kavanaugh. Feeds the crease, Perkovic, bounce shot, kick save by LaPlante. Huge rebound. And it's Kavanaugh doing the dirty work. A former high school hockey standout. Cannot get underneath, quick to slide. Acello cannot split the double, but he draws a flag.
2-5/4, back of the head.
So a slash to the back of the head. 25, Garrett Holst.
Red, 2-5/1 minute. 1 minute. Red, 2-5/1 minute.
Acello, strong right-handed tendencies. Boom, right there.
So Notre Dame extra man coming in, converting at 52.5%. Kavanaugh with 6. Mikey Wynn, who's been quiet inside, has 5. They press out on Kavanaugh, just for show maybe. Perkovic, of course, a threat up top. And they can't handle it. Lubawicki can't handle the pass. Another turnover, and this one's a dagger on the extra man. Now they'll try to double the ball on the ride to get it back. But Coach Corrigan knows that's a huge opportunity. Gone awry. Now Rooney gets it in the box for the clear.
The big time clear.
Now to Pace.
LaPlante, the goalie, very patient. Staying deep in his zone. His eyes are up. The Denver man down team, they work back to the ball. It wasn't easy, and then you see the speed.
Penalty released, and you don't want to oversell the drama, but you fall behind by 3 against a patient offense and the best face-off man in the country. You're moving one step closer to summer. A huge stop, or a huge possession right here for both teams. Now Berg looking for an angle on Eppert. Miller on the invert. Other side of the cage. Now Sean Canizero gets a pick from his brother.
Hey, ball, Zax. That's right. Hey.
Hands-free shot, too high from Pace. 11:30 left in the game. Such an interesting question for coaches around the Big East and who have faced Denver. Do you press out against this patient offense? And the answer is always you can't. They're so skilled, you're giving them tempo. Now Miller gets a step on Collins, draws the slide from Williams, finds the crease, catch. Oh, what a save by Doss if he got a piece. Mark that one down with 11:04. The possession continues, but they had a great look to make it 7-4. They're going to get another look now and not on the cage. 9 saves for Doss.
Big time ground ball by Adamson on the near sideline. And about 2 seconds later, boom, 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 pass to the far side. They're coming at you again. But that was a critical ground ball by 34 in Crimson.
Now Glazner switches on Connor Canizero. So Sean takes Landis away from the action.
Hey, back right.
Now Pace on the invert against Kashansky. Gets underneath, gets spun around. Now Miller with a look. That shot's blocked. Glazner took one in the head. This one could be another injury.
Hey, 40, come over here for me, my man. We're going to start over here in the alley, man. Hey, 40, over here, man.
For the Notre Dame defense. Already a man down with Healy on the bench. Glazner took this one in the helmet.
He's going to have to leave the game.
Aiming from this spot. I don't think it was the helmet. I heard some flesh. Hit his upper body, maybe near his shoulder area.
back, then you got some. Yeah, you're down.
Super Mo.
Hey, we got a sub in.
Yep, there it is, right in the back of the neck. So good to see him run off the field. But now Jack Sheridan, the junior from here in Philadelphia.
Right here we go.
See Jerry Byrne talking things over with Eddie Glazner.
Ball's X. Good to hear.
So now they'll go right at 10 and white. Here's the change of direction. Good recovery by Eppel on the slide. So now the whole depth chart being used for Kevin Corrigan here on championship weekend. Pace, backpedaling, improves his angle, moves it along. Now they pick up the pace, get a great look, shot blocked again. Williams can't come up with it for Notre Dame. Eppel, their best ground ball man, can't come up with it. And you see the response from the Denver bench to note how important that was.
That scrap, it's like worth a minute of this game. How about that offense? A thing of beauty. Tic-tac-toe passing.
Look at that slam dunk. There's tired legs against tremendously skilled offense.
They earn the restart. 14, Wesley Berg with a big-time hip-to-hip body check. The possession continues, and that was an endless possession if you're Notre Dame's D. Razor sharp skills. We talked about their accuracy with the passing. Watch them zip this ball, and the defense gets really tight in front. Great times cut by Eric Adamson, the senior from California. Pace picks up the assist. But a team goal, that's a we goal, not a me goal.
Time now for a BioBlast on the senior from Anaheim Hills. Brought to you by Sector Spider ETFs. We mentioned 6 a year ago against Notre Dame, 6 a year ago in the quarterfinals against Drexel as well.
Headed to Arizona State, but Bob Hartranft, Farmingdale High School, Long Island, saw him in a scrimmage, called Coach Tierney up and said, you need to look into this kid from California. I think he's a Division I player.
Masello pushes it forward, wins it, gets it to Doyle. Good recovery, not giving him a shot on the point. So the Irish have gone beyond quiet, down by 3.
Got to go. I think you're automatically in your 10-man, your full-court press here on any kind of turnover.
Perkovic from Potsdam, save LaPlante. Ryan LaPlante made 13 saves on this field 2 years ago. He didn't play the second half, but he has been brilliant in the second half here today. Perkovic got a look. Now Baptiste in trouble. He coughs it up. Kavanaugh gets it back. Kavanaugh can't force the early offense. But does he go 1 against 6? No. Notre Dame has missed its last 10 shots. Make it 11. What a save by LaPlante, using the whole body. And that one's going to hurt tonight, but he'll take it if they win. Now he's running out of real estate. Acello can't come up with it with great hustle. Doyle, 3 Irish, 2 Denver. And a timeout from Kevin Corrigan, and a late hit by Baptiste, and there's the flag. 2 flags. A huge mental mistake by Denver, it looks like.
You're going to go too. Fouls on red, 9, unnecessary, 1 minute. Red 9, unnecessary 1. 9.
Kevin Corrigan sounds like he's looking for non-releasable. Bill Tierney not happy with the call. The kid from FOCO has been on fire here in the second half. Now he has to face the man-up unit for the Irish. This Sunday on SportsCenter, after losing his leg in Afghanistan, Marine Staff Sergeant Liam Dwyer did not give up hope. Determined to return to the track, his sights are now set on victory lane. SportsCenter Featured presents Liam Dwyer, Drive, Sunday at 11 a.m. on SportsCenter. So let's take a look at Denver now with a 3-goal lead, as they have scored the last 3 goals after Corrigan tied it up. But now the door is open for Notre Dame because of this late hit. Tough to tell without the whistle. Not much of one, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit of a sell job and a dive there. by Doyle.
Again, that is slow motion, and we didn't hear the whistle, but let's check in with Paul for this extra man.
Well, they like the 3-3 set. 3 guys up top, 3 down low. They'll get into a wheel, too, where that ball spins around. If they don't get anything off that, look for 50 in white, Matt Cavanaugh, to be in the inside. He loves that high crease area.
The drought approaching 20 minutes for Notre Dame, and it continues off the inaccurate shot from Marlock. The last time they were an extra man, moments ago, they turned it over. They press out on Cavanaugh, he cuts. Perkovic wants it, gets it, the drought is over. Wow! The Motor City Hitman makes it a 2-goal game, and that one had some noise.
Painting corners, 6'4", 220 pounds, and 105 miles an hour. This is what it looks like. One of the most lethal outside shooters in all of college lacrosse. It's not just the brute force when 16 in white has the rock. It's the mechanics, the hip rotation.
Subtle little shift by Perkovic to his right as that ball was transitioning. And then look at the plant rotate through, and that thing absolutely paints the corner. Nobody on the planet is making that stop.
So now, anticipate Notre Dame if they lose the faceoff jumping into the 10-man ride. That's what turned around the game last year against Albany in the quarters. Baptiste wins it forward. Acello pushes him. There will be no rider clear. So now they get the ball back with 7:52 and a 2-goal lead. Good to see Glazner back out there after taking the shot on the back of his neck. He's on the ball, and Sean Cannizzaro. Miller on the invert. Pushed aside by Kashansky for now. Now they let him go. Bad double, and he scores! Miscommunication. And the sophomore takes advantage.
Second unassisted goal. And a huge one. Biggest goal of his career. He's had Stickham in his pocket all day. Likes the matchup. Presses topside left-handed. The double comes, but it's just not there with any kind of force, and he rolls away from it. Again, Landis is there. They don't pinch him. He spins out of it and sets his feet. Good night.
Always has 2 hands on his stick, too, Q. That's the box lacrosse background. You come out of a move, you're shot ready.
40 seconds between goals. Miller, our first multiple goal scorer of the game.
Play it out.
Baptiste overpowering Acello there and gets it to pace. Now Acello thought about doubling the ball, but too far away.
The time is now, if you're Notre Dame, to extend. Nothing crazy within the confines of your defense, but you have to extend and get out not only to the ball carrier, but the adjacent man a bit.
So now Garrett Epple on Cannizzaro. Quick to double that matchup, but he holds on to it. Should be an open Pioneer. And again, it almost has to be a perfect shot for Denver to let it fly. That skip doesn't get through. Touched by Sexton. He's mad at himself for not coming up with a clean interception. So this possession will restart with 6:38 left in regulation and a 3-goal lead for the Pioneers. Johns Hopkins against Maryland to follow. And Neer goes out on Berg. Neer is the best defenseman in the country. Try to come up with the turnover. Harassing him a little bit more. Now Miller against Neer. Shot clock's on. And Adamson can't make the catch. Neer looking for the ground ball. Loose ball push against Epple, but the shot clock should stay on with 21. No, they're going to reset it because of the whistle against Notre Dame. So it stays on, but goes back to 30.
Great hustle by Canizero, 40 and Crimson, just getting there first and kind of planting himself over the ball and waiting for the defenders to run him over.
So now near make it Landis. Here's a look for Adamson, too high. So the shot clock stays on at 17. He'd love to have that look back. He had plenty of space. 10 to shoot, low, save, toss, rebound, money in the bank. Right into the stick of pace. And the Pioneers are sensing Monday.
Relentless pressure by Denver. If you freeze it right here, you see you've got a late approach, boom, which creates a little opportunity now for this shooter. Let it roll. Rebound comes inside, and Pace gets inside position on Glazner.
So now Baptiste against the Cella. 4-goal lead, 5:29 left to play. And you've been dominating faceoffs.
Look how low Baptiste gets.
Still loose, now there's a whistle. Push against Denver, so Notre Dame will get it. That's a crazy restart by these officials. Notre Dame, though, committed the turnover. Williams flipped it over to Cella right at the whistle. Now Near, though, gets it, so it only cost them time. Now does Near force the issue? Nope. Gets it to Doyle. Here's a look for Acello. Good check right on his hands on the shot by Reese, who's had a tremendous game.
Come out, dead ball, come out, Red. Going right back there.
Bill Tierney, 4 minutes and 53 seconds away from playing for his 7th championship as a coach, his first at Denver. And it's time for our Pick You Up moment of the game, brought to you by Enterprise, and it started with Ryan LaPlante.
He's been excellent in the NCAA tournament, but today, 13 stops, great ball control, and then the aggressive outlet. Now watch how Mike Reese plays this with the point man. CJ Costabile, deja vu all over again.
Quint referring to the game-winning goal to start overtime in the national championship game between Duke and Notre Dame in 2010. That was at the start of overtime. Reese's goal in the final second of the third quarter made it 6-4.
You're on that guy to be able to stay with us, okay?
So Denver, less than 5 minutes away from playing for the championship for the first time in school history. Will it be against Johns Hopkins or Maryland if they can advance? Bill Tierney, a Hall of Famer at Princeton, said the move, quite honestly, from Princeton to Denver was a selfish one. Wanted a new challenge. He said at Princeton, I took over a tradition, but maybe not tremendous talent. At Denver, I took over talent, but maybe not a tremendous tradition.
Now he's up on the 4th floor with the corner office and a view of the Rockies. He says, personally, it's been invigorating. He's healthier, he's happier, and the new challenge. Surrounded himself by a very capable staff, tremendous support from the administration. They've won hockey championships at Denver, but never lacrosse.
It's funny that you mentioned that great article this week about the impact of the lacrosse success at Denver. And the hockey coach, Jim Montgomery, who you mentioned has won championships, says often when he's recruiting a hockey player, the player or the parent will ask, aren't you guys the one with the great lacrosse team?
Coach Monty, 2nd year, a Frozen Four participant this year. Heartbreaking loss in the semifinals.
And Denver really is the blueprint for the expansion of lacrosse. In all honesty, it's not the Notre Dames or the Michigans with those BCS-type football programs. It's the High Point. It's the Marquettes. It's the Cleveland States.
Small, private schools without big-time football, because of Title IX and money, are the most likely to add men's lacrosse. Now, I know USC and UCLA are interested down the road, maybe even Arizona State, but the smaller private schools who don't have monster football budgets.
Now Acello coming around on the curl. They go back to Perkovic, and he has 2 in a row. So he's cooking it up right now for the Irish. but will they have enough time?
When this team goes on a run, it's on the back of 50 in white Matt Cavanaugh and this guy right here, Sergio Perkovic. The big righty shooter out of the state of Michigan wills his team and is relentless in the fourth quarter. Wants the ball in his stick, Q.
Perkovic is right here on the right, frees it. And you see the defense just shade. This is Reese, who's just staring at the ball carrier. He loses all perspective of where Perkovic is right here. And now you let it roll. Goes for the pickoff there. A better approach would be to back off and then find that right-handed shooter.
Last year on Memorial Day, he had 5 against Duke. He had Paul Rabel, probably the greatest midfielder on the world, tweeting Sergio with a picture of Drago from Rocky IV. Now Baptiste wins it and gets it ahead to Pace. They have numbers if they want to. What? Almost. They force it, though, uncharacteristically. But they're going to get it back. Oh, my! Wesley Berg! Sports Center just got a top 10 to make it 10-6, and that could be the dagger.
Tierney never saw it. He was down on the ground. He couldn't believe the turnover and the force feed to the crease. But Berg from British Columbia, the senior magician. This pass right here had Tierney down on the ground, pounding the turf. Couldn't believe it. Around the world. Keeps it in his right hand, loops it over the opposite shoulder.
Canadian box background. Who needs a left hand? When your right hand is like Wesley Berg or your left hand like Zach Miller, the wraparound essentially gives you that offhand. Might be the goal that brings Denver to their first national title game.
That'll be on SportsCenter throughout the weekend. That'll be on Vic Lombardi's Sportscast throughout the weekend in Denver. You're going to be seeing that one for a long time in the Mile High City. And now Baptiste could salt this one away. The Irish jump into the 10-man ride. Doss out of the net. The net is raw. Doss now back to the net, but the 10-man ride stays on with Rooney, and he loses it. So Notre Dame and Cavanaugh get it back with 4 minutes left, down by 4. They get it back to Perkovic out of the box. The double team quick to come. He still has it. He wants it. LaPlante ready for it. Huge ground ball on the rebound. Lost. Wynn gets it back. Perkovic back to his left, and somehow that goes in. The bounce shot makes it a 3-goal game with 3:38 left to play. You wanted tempo? You have tempo.
Perkovic trying to take this game over with the last 3 Notre Dame goals. Recruited by Northwestern to play football, 6'4", brilliant student, and a powerful shooter. Just won't be denied. There's nothing fancy here. He leans in, spins back towards his weak left hand, and lets it rip.
Q, that's the only spot that ball would have fallen on LaPlante. He had a wide base. He covered the left side with his strong hand. He snuck that one in near pipe. Unbelievable placement.
Now Notre Dame with 2 wings on the faceoff. Baptiste has been going back. He spins around, but he loses it. Eppel now, Notre Dame's best ground ball man, gets it to Acella. Oh, he had Wynn on the crease momentarily. Step down opportunity for Doyle. Great check on the shot by Carson Cannon. Last week, maybe we put a win in the win column too early for Johns Hopkins. Did we start to look ahead to Monday too early? Notre Dame still with a big hill to climb. Perkovic for 2 points maybe. Oh my! 4 in the 4th for Sergio Perkovic.
Can someone tell Denver that 16 in white is lethal from the outside? Some guys just want the ball in pressure moments. We saw it as a freshman when he had 5 goals against Duke in the national title game. He wants to single-handedly take this game over, and there is no range limits when you shoot overhand 102 miles an hour, old school. reaches in.
Can we burn the tapes when I said Sergio Perkovic's been quiet? Now they send P.J. Finley out to the X. Again, anticipate the 10-man ride if they lose it. 2 goals in 37 seconds for the Motor City Hitman. Baptiste trying to push it forward, but they get it for Notre Dame. Sexton to Doyle, who loses it. Well, again, Notre Dame with a timeout left. But this is the pace they've been playing lately once Matt Cavanaugh arrived in South Bend. Perkovic's come to the party. Does 50 in white join him? They call him the king of clutch because of his 3 overtime goals. But now Acella. Lefty shot blocked. Race to the end line. This is huge. They give it to Cavanaugh. Huge restart. LaPlante nowhere near the goal. Corrigan will shoot off the mark. 2:19 left in regulation. Cavanaugh's got to go outside the box to restart. Does he just do his signature move and somehow get to the goal and either get fouled or get a goal? Now Perkovic gets a pick from Acella. Gets picked up by the shorty. Jump shot anyway! Oh my! We are witnessing one of the greatest individual performances in this championship's history, and it's taken less than a quarter. They're staying in the 10-man ride, and they are back in this game because of one Sergio Perkovic.
The ball screen changes the matchup. Reese is in fine shape until he gets picked off, and then you see the size and the strength differential. But that's an unbelievable shot. LaPlante's a lefty. This is offside hip. It's on the run, fadeaway jump shot to the ideal spot. 5 straight. Sergio.
When he was a freshman, a friend of Kevin Corrigan's watched him at practice, and Kevin turned to the friend and said, he might be the best guy we've ever had. Well, he has played like it in the big stage, but Denver still leads. Acella loses his stick, so now Reese. And now, less than 2 minutes, Denver has the ball. No flag. Doss still in the net for now. Each team with 1 timeout left. And this is where you get in trouble. You extend and you give these snipers great looks. How quickly do the officials, if at all, hit them with a timer on in the shot clock? Will Bill Tierney take a timeout to avoid that and just try to run out this win?
Absolutely.
So Kashansky on the ball might have to force the issue. There you see they're going to go double the ball. Doss is out of the net. But they don't go all the way out on Berg, so the shot clock's on. So now Neer will double the ball. Shot clock at 22. No one's picking up Sean Cannizzaro. Are they just going to roll it in the corner and set up the ride? 10 to shoot. Kashansky. Does he go out on the ball? 7. They're making a sub. They're setting up the ride. 2 to shoot. They're going to turn it over. Sexton comes up with it. He has Neer in the middle of the field. Here we go. Notre Dame with a timeout left. Will we go to overtime again between these 2 Western rivals? Cavanaugh. Does he do it again? They're going to draw up a play. 22.8 left to play. We've mentioned it. 3 overtime games, and courtesy of Sergio Perkovic, the Irish have a chance.
Big sophomore, quiet first 3 quarters, has caught fire. Liquid smoke pings a corner. The confidence soaring with every touch. Leans in, uses his body. You see the range from outside 15. Yeah, I can do it on the run too. I'm a complete midfielder, and I'm carrying the team on my back.
So now, Does it start with Kavanaugh to get 16 loose? You almost would have to anticipate there's no way 16 is going to get a look.
Yeah, if you put Perkovic adjacent to Kavanaugh and you dodge left-handed Kavanaugh at 16, at Perkovic, is Reese going to step down and help? Probably not, which may open a seam for Kavanaugh. So you kind of use Sergio Perkovic in a position which you make his guy the hot guy. And I think Denver will be hesitant to leave him.
Perkovic, 1 shot in the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, 5 of 9. Will he get a 10th shot in the fourth quarter? Let's check in with Paul.
Well, it looks like Sergio Perkovic, 16 and white, will be starting in the inside. Quint, we've had conversations like this. If your star doesn't start with the ball, you do run the risk of throwing an errant pass and never giving it to the superstar. There's a debate here. Do you put the ball in Perkovic's stick right away, and it does not appear like they're doing it, starting him in the middle of the field, popping out for the ball, and then a potential game-tying score?
It's got to start with Kavanaugh or Perkovic. Again, time is not on your side. Does Denver play man? Does Denver play zone here? That's the other thing. If they back off in a 3-3 zone, which they haven't shown today, you've got to have something up your sleeve to attack the zone.
Paul just brought up a very interesting point. You talk to teams that play Notre Dame, they'll say the thing about Perkovic is he's not the top guy on your scouting report. It starts with 50. Well, he's the top guy on the scouting report now, but right now it'll start with Connor Doyle. Kavanaugh and Perkovic both inside. Do the Irish force overtime, or do the Pioneers play for a championship? Acella with 12. Gets loose. Shot. Goal!
The confidence, the composure in the bench. When they were down by 4 goals, Kevin Corrigan told his team, do not panic. They've been in these situations time and time again. And 2 seniors who've delivered all season long, 28 in white, Connor Doyle and Nick Acella, one of the best midfield second part of the seasons of any player in college lacrosse.
Head and shoulder fake, a wonderful job of setting up his strong right hand. Like a running back, drop that left shoulder, you plant on that left foot, and you explode back to the middle. This team was down 4 with 4:23 to go.
Now Acella has to go right back to the X and flex his muscles to hold up Baptiste. Baptiste scored 7 seconds into their first round game against Brown. He can create a look with 9 seconds left. 2 poles on the wing to try to slow him down. Acella gives it to him to take up time. Still loose. 2 seconds left. Oh! A shocker in Philly. Denver and Notre Dame are playing bonus lacrosse. Sergio Perkovic, the man of the hour right now in Philadelphia.
We gotta be on the top of the box. We gotta pull that in more. Defense I need 1 white captain. Hey, Bill. 1 white captain. Tell me what goal you want to defend. Hey, Coach Terry. What goal you want to defend? You the top.
Quint, you mentioned it, down by 4 with just a little under 4.5 to play.
Berg scored that magical goal, and then Perkovic pings a corner on extra man, and all of a sudden he's found his shooting touch. He and Kavanaugh were quiet for 3 quarters. Confidence soaring. They try to mug him, and he says, no, I'm just too strong. And Notre Dame, after a 1 of 17 shooting performance, early stages of the second half, they've caught fire. That is a thing of beauty if you're an Irish fan. Nick Acella on the run, delivering a strike. Here it is again. Heavy fake down that left-handed alley. The double is late. 16, Perkovic was the adjacent man inside. Reese, 23 in crimson, was hesitant to leave him, and that's why Acella had the clear lane.
Kevin Corrigan telling us yesterday when Nick was a freshman or a sophomore, I said, you know what, when he's 25 and playing Major League Lacrosse, he'll really figure this game out. Luckily for the Irish, he figured it out a lot earlier than that. Let's check in with Paul.
All about the face-off in the Notre Dame huddle. Kevin Corrigan knows how lethal Trevor Baptiste is. Has the best winning percentage in all of college lacrosse. He went over a couple scenarios. One being if Trevor Baptiste kicks this ball out in front, they have to assume Wesley Berg will be the point man, 14 in crimson. They need to help right away when he has that ball because he will sling it from the top of the point. So watch Berg if Trevor Baptiste wins that draw in front.
In 2012, it was Sean Rogers for Notre Dame. In 2013, Jim Marlock. Earlier this year in Denver, it was Zach Miller. Who gets the goal that sends one of these two Western teams to Monday and a chance for history? Overtime lacrosse has been the script. Notre Dame taking a long time in its huddle right here before they come up with a plan to neutralize Baptiste.
Hey, Denver does not have great body language coming out of that huddle, but a quick face-off win from that man, Trevor Baptiste, the freshman from New Jersey. Best in the business this year in Division I, 69% winner. He's a wing scientist, a tactician. He runs well, and his power at 215, undeniable.
And he can create his own shot. So can Asello. But Notre Dame counters with two wings. Sexton on one, Eppel on the other. It's Holst, and I believe Reese for the Pioneers. Next goal wins. Baptiste goes back to himself and is about to get jumped, and he loses it. Kavanaugh comes up with it. Kavanaugh loses it. What a takeaway by Carson Cannon before Kevin Corrigan takes the timeout. Now are they in the 10-man ride? Eppel's over, Wynn's over. Doss in the cage, though. Pace has a pole in front of him, but he doesn't get it to him in time. So now, an offense that was clicking gets it back off the push call. They'll make some substitutions. Miller onto the field, being guarded by Kashansky. He won it in Denver on that matchup. They go away from him for now. Now they go to set it up. They're trying to shut off Miller now, but they get it to him anyway. Quickly gets a step. Draws the slide. Good ball movement for Berg. Eppel recovers. And Bill Tierney and Matt Brown are going to talk things over. They take the timeout. Kevin Corrigan trusted his superstar and his top six and momentum. And he's smiling about it now.
That's a great point you make, Eamon, because everything's going the Irish way. Let the kids play. He did. But look at that. That wrap check by Carson Cannon. Lefty senior from Minnesota. Slap. Well-timed. Pops that ball out of Kavanaugh's pocket. Corrigan was stalking the officials. He had to be thinking timeout.
Didn't want to give him the timeout, Binky. You know the argument.
The Binky.
You take the timeout. You allow them to set up their defense. You got the stick in the ball in the stick of your Tewaaraton finalist, and maybe the best attackman you've ever had. But a crowd now that is filled in here at Philly is going to get a chance to see a memorable ending. They've already seen a memorable fourth quarter run. Let's check in with Paul.
Denver offensive coordinator Matt Brown knows what he has in Zach Miller, the sophomore midfielder. He thinks Notre Dame will deny him the ball because he's the primary ball carrier this afternoon. So Sean Canizero will be in the offense, kind of just dumbing it down in the beginning stages of this possession. Tyler Pace, 3 in crimson, will have the ball, and look for Wesley Berg going from inside to outside, looking for that righty cannon cue.
We talk about Tierney and Corrigan, but really, Quint, two of the best assistant coaches in America in a chess match right now.
Matt Brown, Denver offensive coordinator, confidant of Bill Tierney. There he is. Jerry Byrne, longtime defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, 9 years. They're both innovators. You could argue that they're both best at their profession across the landscape of college lacrosse.
And you have to also wonder, not for today, the succession plan at these two schools is indeed those two men. But that has absolutely nothing to do right now. It starts with Miller. And here's Berg on Epple. They are shutting off Miller. So now Pace being guarded by Jack Neer. Well, Landis wanted to stalk on the double. Now they come off Miller and he gets the ball. Loses his man, but does not shoot. Berg will. Ball game! Denver survives!
Miller draws two on the wing. This is earlier. Pace will rotate the ball to the right side of your screen. And now the game is on right here. 33 gets a step. Double team. Recovery a tad bit slow. We talked about Denver's passing all day. That ball is in and out of the sticks extremely fast. He earns the double. Watch Tyler Pace. In his stick, out of his stick. Same with Berg. Zip, zip, zip. Back of the net. Game over. See you Monday.
Stick in the air. He'll have it ready for practice on Monday. He won gold this summer as part of Team Canada. Told us this week it was a surreal experience playing with some of the greatest to ever play and learning from Brody Merrill. Well, the surreal experience of his lacrosse career continues, and now Bill Tierney. Some wondered how, why, what is he doing leaving Princeton for Denver? He knew, and now he's one game away from a national championship. For Kevin Corrigan, he and the Irish will have to wait. The #1 seed has been knocked off by their Western rival. Let's check in with Paul.
Coach, you were up 10-6 in that fourth quarter. What did you tell your team between regulation and overtime?
Told them, you know, it was a one-goal game. You know, we always talk about the next goal. It was one-goal game, and we hadn't had the ball in a while. Just told them to keep playing hard, and hopefully something good will happen.
Describe what it meant for you to see Wesley Berg score that game winner. You've had him here all 4 years.
Well, they shut him down pretty good today, but he's a winner. He's a champion, and I'm proud of him.
Thank you, Coach.
Now it's time for the Capital One player of the game, and they might have shut him down in his coach's eyes, but he had 3, and the most important last 2.
Clutch. He's like Popeye. He's farm strong. He's got those big arms, and you see the snapshot. Most of the power in his shot comes from his wrists and his forearms. He's been really a foundation for Denver's program through the last 4 years.
Sergio Perkovic will have 2 more years, but again, another tremendous performance by the sophomore on championship weekend, but he will not get another crack at the championship game. So the Irish dreams come up short. Denver's lives for 2 more days. They will take the field Monday at 1. Will it be against Johns Hopkins? Those two coaches know each other very well. Or will it be against Maryland? That ball game is next on ESPN2. We're all going to catch our breath a little bit after that tremendous finish. Bill Tierney with his 2nd overtime win this year over Notre Dame. This one advances him into Championship Monday. Once again, our final score, Denver 11, Notre Dame 10 in overtime. Coming up next on ESPN2, the longest rivalry in the sport. Hopkins against Maryland from Philadelphia. But now let's go to Anish Shroff for the NCAA Studio Update.